Hey everybody, DayTraderRockStar here, and this is a video I'm sending out Wednesday afternoon. I'm actually doing it while Paula's on the mic. I was taking care of some stuff for the site and stuff, and trying to get some things organized, which I don't get much time off the mic during the week. So I'm spending this time, but of course I'm also involved in the markets, and I figured it'd be a good time to do a little research and backtrack and take a look at the markets at this point going into tomorrow. A little, try to keep this video short and sweet. First of all, markets are down right now, and it's just an ugly, heavy feeling to everything. I came in today thinking that there was a little too much negativity yesterday, and that we'd get a bounce on it. And we started off pretty good this morning out of the gate, and it just rolled over. And this is what happened. We just got a decent bounce here a little after 12 o'clock. It was 12:30. If you take a look at the Rockbot channel, it nailed it. And then we had a nice run up, and then it kind of drifted back down. And we're kind of in a seesaw here. I mean, they're bigger trends, a little bit bigger trends, not as choppy. But is this a beginning of a new trend down? Are we putting in a higher low right now? We got a little rotation on the 5 minute to the upside. We broke out of this consolidation over the last 3 days, and that's what really. And when we see that, and when we point that out, always remember rule number one. The markets run on patterns. There's algorithms out there that are picking up things. So when you have a support line or a defined channel line, it's very easy to make a program to identify those and trade around them. However you want to set it up. Short the break, and But a lot of, but it takes the calculations from recent pivots. From two pivots you can make a straight line. And when you start to see all these things start to add up into a nice, beautiful channel, that channel becomes a structured item. So when something breaks that structure, it's going to be more, a bigger move in the direction of the break. And in this case, you could see we did break down. But the thing I want to tell you right now is one of the most important things are the rebound to that break. Wherever that level was. What was once support now becomes resistance. It is one of the best trade setups, and this is a great example of it. It's a great example because just like we have a bull flag or a 2020 flag or a 2020 bull flag, we have quad rotations and we have the divergences. This is similar. I mean, it's an HPS. Actually, it's a divergence right here. And again, this is on the 5 minute time frame, but you could see, you can see this 5 minute divergence right here. That low and this higher low. And this is really almost a kind of a running divergence that started right about here, and it was very, very kind of just tight and not much going on with it. Let me see if I could get an F2. I think I could do F2 on that trend line. All right, well, it's a kind of harder one to recognize, but if you're not looking at the 5, you might be able to see this on the 60-10. Let me just double check that because I didn't. Again, I was working some other things. The 60-10, yes, you can see it. So what you see here is this low and this lower low, or actually this double bottom, perfect double bottom. Nothing really showing up on the 9-3, 14-3. The 44 is starting to lift here off that recent low. So it's you're starting to see, but even here you even see the dotted line under the 60-10. This is a much better divergence. It's not a steep one, but given the nature of the 60-minute, 5 minute time frame, if you see a divergence, check it on the 5 minute cash. It'll probably come in cleaner, and this would be a clean one too. It's not a bad one, as long as we can measure out the low here and the low here, and this one has to be above that 20 line, and that you could easily see the dots underneath that. So while I was here just before, there was some breaking news on this TGTX. This is the type of day it is. Just happened to be in front of here. Mr. Land mentioned a halt. The news came out was positive news on multiple sclerosis drug, and they got FDA approval. So I figured, all right, we're seeing these things. A lot of people probably run into the stock. Not much going on in the markets today. So these things tend to attract traders. So I put an order in, and one of the techniques I like to use on this is, let me see if I can bring up my trade on this. I try to connect the Ninja Trader to the IB internet post, but I have to switch over things and then change the symbols. And let me show you that. All right, so TGTX. So I had an order in to open up to buy market at open, basically. I wanted to see if this was going to run. I only got 50 shares. Got in at 10:49. And I wasn't even in front of it when it happened, so I was running around. And I got in here and I said, all right, it's got up. I was watching. It was 11:50, and then it started coming back down. I was just letting it play out until we got down to a point where, that you feel like it's almost going to close that gap. And why is it going to close that gap? It doesn't feel too good. So I decided to get out of it. So that was something that surprised it didn't run. But, I don't know much about the drug. It is a hit and miss. I did get on the mic with Paul and said that, it could go either way. So you have to be very careful on these. But it does give you some action. And in this case, the action was to the downside. Just a update again, for this will be a watch list for tomorrow also. Try to get everything accomplished here in this video and not make it too long. I wanted to show you some of the movers that are happening today, and what we call the low float poppers. I like to call them the low float poppers. On my personal watch list right now, this is the ones I have. So let me bring them up on the screen for you. And this is, again, it could give you a head start for tomorrow. Lots of times these have follow through days. And then they'll come. So JNCE, again, to do your own research on this. I just follow the poppers in the morning. I circle when we first notice them, and I kind of go back and take a look at them at the end of the day and see how they perform. And it's all part of data gathering, for the next time, and seeing how certain stocks react and what was the news. It's all part of the process of learning. So a lot of these stocks I will, go back, especially the ones that held up really good. I find that the common denominator is the value, the quality of the news that comes out. It's not just a BS news story or something, but it has some tangible, things about it, and it looks pretty good. And that's the basic formula for me finding these. And sometimes you don't get in the right ones. They take off. You chase. It's a difficult. It's a more difficult trade to do, but it does give you great opportunities also. So you take the bad with the good, right? And we try to make the best we can. And when the good ones come around, they'll run a few days. So it's a matter of just keeping this tool in your toolbox. Check it each morning. See what you like. See if there's anything here that looks like money line right here. 58 cents consolidating near the highs. I'll circle it just to kind of give me a read on if it does come back. I said, oh, I remember this one. What was different about this? Or what was that? How early were we on that? All right, so that's that. So that's just a couple that are moving. There's lots of other ones, like the Cala was moving today, and that was one that I was on last night on the news. I was in front of my computer when Cala came out, and I didn't. Here it was overnight. And this was, I even have the circle back here. You can barely see it. It was right at 684. And now I'm like just looking back, kicking myself. I said, that was the easy grab. Why didn't I like it? I don't know. I don't know why I didn't grab that one. And kind of, I don't think I would have held it past $9, $10. But then things squeezed higher. Now it's kind of pulled back. I thought the news on the other one was even better than this one. But it depends on the float. It depends on a lot of this. 42 million float, up 266%. Wow, that's the ones you like to get. And unless you're looking for them, you're not going to get them. You're going to be a chaser. So I'm out of this one. So that was a tough one. I'm just looking at my screen right now. What I'm looking at, and you're looking at on DTR2. The DWACs held up today. I still think there's lower numbers to be had, but it seems to be doing okay. And they come in to defend this stock. It could have taken a nice profit off of it yesterday. It decided to hold on to it. seems to be bucking the trend a little here, so might move against us for a bit. The GTTX is down. Disney here still having a hard time. Tesla still underneath, I mean, can't break through that 114 level. Amazon just looks weak. I think Amazon's going into the high 70s. Tesla's going down probably to 100. Disney, high 70s, 79, 78, maybe even 75. DWAC, eventually it'll be $5 or lower. Eventually, TGTX, thank God I'm out of it. GNRC, Generac came out with the upgrade. My friend Dak called me on that. He likes this one the best because of the news. Yeah, I'm very cautious in this market right now. I don't want to put, hold on to anything, feeling that the market's going to be the tide against my boat. I don't want to be swimming upstream here, picking up some stocks. But I think we're in tune. We're in tune enough. We're here every day that we know if they're going to pull one. Unless there's some record kind of breaking news that happens that goes along with the war or something, that we can't foresee. It happens overnight and we have a gap up. We should be able to sniff out any significant rally, and it's probably going to come after some type of catalyst. Either it might be the next CPI, it might be something with the Fed, next meeting. It might be a news event, all right, a news event out of Europe. It might be a war, ceasefire, something. It could be something that breaks, really in a bad way. Until then, you got to hoard your cash and keep it ready, because there will be opportunities. And there will be opportunities coming, like, when we talk about maybe Disney down in the 70s or Apple's down around 100, you should start picking up some shares. You don't have to go all in, but, I was looking at a strategy I was thinking for myself. I said, all right, if we get a move down, I forget which stock it was. What did I have on my list? There's a couple good ones. Well, let's just say Disney, for example, even though I have a little Disney. But, down in this level, with the new CEO, he's coming in. He's not going to just blow this year. He's up there. He's, the relief pitcher. He's going to have to make a fast thing. That's Cala right now. That's Cala, but Papa, what was it? Iger? All right, you're way down here. All right, you're at the lows, basically. It could go lower. Like I said, I like these whole numbers. We haven't seen any type of big candle, any type of big reversal candle, oversold level that aggressively moves higher, volume spike, or a divergence. Now we are damn close because we are oversold. This could turn into a divergence. There actually was a little signal of a 14.3 divergence on this last low back here, but that was, I didn't really see it. You want to be able to see those divergences. You want to be able to really recognize a one. This was the last good divergence we had back here, was a higher stochastic rotation there, a double bottom here, and that's what we liked. We liked it here. It got a little bounce, pull back. I liked it here. I don't know why, because it seems like it was overextended. And then the gap down. I was following this quite a bit. So right about this point here, if it does get down and breaks a level that kind of gives us some type of all clear, like what price would you buy Disney at? The 2020 lows, the pandemic lows, is about it's about 80. So 80 is trading at 84 now. So you're looking for a little bit more pain in these markets, and then if we get down to those levels, it would be it would be a good idea to start doing a little shopping for the future. 10 shares here, 10 shares there. Goes down a little bit more, add another 5, whatever. whatever you want to add to it, but don't do it in big chunks. Just do it in small chunks. That by the time you know, Disney's going to come back a decent amount when things straighten out, and they might even get some help with the new CEO, who's kind of in there to force a turnaround. So I expect some news to come out this year, and we'll look back a year from now. Will this stock be here? 84 will be higher or will be lower? Maybe the 70s we get down to. That'd be pretty. I think it would be a deal at 70. All right, so that's a little talk about the that one. I didn't want this video to be too long, but I wanted to get it out fast enough. Also, we're having an end of the year sale to the end of the year. Coupon code is JAN, JAN 23. It gives you $500 off the lifetime membership. $500 off the lifetime membership. It doesn't apply to any other the other memberships. The other membership, the monthly, the 3-month, which is a deal in itself, which is the starter program, which is great, and everything else is the same. But I would take advantage of the lifetime. You get the Rockbot. You get to run it on your own machine, and then Rockbot's selling off right now. Let's take a look at what's happening with the markets. All right, so that's where we are. So again, this is going to come into the end of the year sale, Jan 23, but also end of the year video. And I'm already starting to do some research on stocks that, like I said, today, if we bought them today or bought them into the next big flush, which I think will be the signal to go long. But it has to be a little bit more aggressive. Maybe it needs to have a spike in the VIX for old time's sake. I haven't looked at the VIX here in a sec, so let's take a look at the VIX. But something that's going to give us the all clear, and then you're going to see this market rally. So, but you want to have cash available. It'll be easier then. All right. What I want to do here. Amazon, Disney, DWAC. Market here just dropped off a bit. All right, so we're going to look at the VIX here. And we're also going to just kind of understand that, again, seeing the market sell off, if you're going to trade, you want to be really short term. You want to pot shot the market, you know. You want to catch some good divergences, get in and get out. No planning on catching the bottom, because you're probably never going to do that. Let's take a look at the VIX here. The pure VIX, the VIX. So yeah, there's no volatility in this market. It's, you know, market here feels very weak, but the VIX here is just dead in the water. It is not looking strong. I mean, the market's been selling off. This VIX hasn't been moving with the VIX. I mean, with the market. So you'd like to get those spikes, you know, to represent. You lay this chart over an S&P chart, you'll tend to see that the spike in the VIX corresponds with the drop in the market, and those are, you know, are usually good levels to buy, as everything kind of comes back to neutral. But in this case, we haven't moved really, and we haven't seen that fear. This is, you know, the protection being bought. We shall see if that eventually does play out. But the market here down 36, day after Santa Claus Rally. Day 3 of the Santa Claus Rally. I think we have 7 days, and this is not looking good. This is not looking good. Now, I am holding DWAC short, and shorts are available out there, but I wouldn't want to be shorting some of the quality names we were just talking about. You know, short away on the AMCs, the apes, you know, things that deserve to be shorted. But down here, it'd be kind of threading the needle in the case with like some of these stocks at this point. Tesla, on the other hand, it seems like has a destiny with 100. So don't forget, big watch list coming out for the weekend, end of the year. Then I'll be focused on a lot of these stocks that looked good. I should actually just kind of give you a preview right now, and I'm going to send this on its way. This is for tomorrow, and I would work on some other things. But I just want to give you my overall feeling. We also had a 2 o'clock close to 2, well, let's see here. Coming down to the lows, it's at 3 o'clock right now. Things do not look good for the closing hour here. Bank of America has been working really well. Got the calls on this. Still looks good. One of my favorites right now. It came out of another divergence. We've actually had multiple divergences, Bank of America. Almost very similar type of lows. This lower low, even though it wasn't it was a dual divergence there. There was one right back here. There's definitely one back over here. We still have a little room to run too, and who knows where that could go. This is all these are in a basing pattern, but acting very well right now. I want to just take a look at another one. Stanley Black & Decker. I have my eye on this one. And again, if we could see some kind of capitulation here. We're all the way back out here to 2020 lows. All these stocks are giving everything back. It's just amazing, because there was nothing here. There was absolutely nothing here. I mean, why were the airlines running up when no one was traveling? Why were the cruise ships? Well, half of these things, no one was doing anything. We're all locked down. Yet everything just screamed. And now that everyone's out and about and you can do whatever you want, these stocks have come all the way back down, and about to give back more. So it almost feels like once you kind of clear out those people who are like, well, holy crap, this thing is really breaking down, kind of a big scare, big candle down. I think you buy that big candle down, you're in good shape. And this could be happening. This could be happening this week. This is the big FU to the stock traders out there. The big FU to the Santa Claus Rally believers. All right, so that's it. Keeping an eye on that one. The Bank of America working out well. A couple other ones, the Coca-Cola is another stock you should actually look at. Big resistance above us, but it's this strong. It's probably going to go through that. Just a quality name. BSX. But I have a lot of good stuff for you on the next watch list. I'm starting my research on that. Have a good day. I'll see you guys tomorrow early.